Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are filming probably my most requested video, and that is a full face of drugstore makeup. I do have loads of drugstore products that I love, and I've got a lot of them like in my makeup rotation, but I've never sat down and done a makeup look where every single product is from the drugstore, like even down to the skin prep and the brushes. So I feel like this could be interesting, and I just really hope that it turns out well. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so let's get started with some skin prep. I'm first going to go in with this Bioma Hydrating Milky Toner. This is a really nice, affordable skincare brand. And I don't know if I'm right in saying this, but I think they're Scottish owned as well. So we love that. And this is just a really nice, like thin, nourishing toner. It's kind of like a thinner version of the Road Glazing Milk. It feels super nice and hydrating on the skin. Then I'm going to go in with a moisturiser. This is their Moisturising Rich Cream. Taking a little pump of this and going in with this on top because we want our skin to be really nice and hydrated before we go in with any makeup. And lastly, I'm going to go in with their Lip Tide Lip Mask. And I'm just going to let this sit on my lips whilst I finish my makeup. Okay, skin is prepped. We're looking nice and glowy, so let's get into the makeup. I always like to go in with like a glowy base product before my foundation. So I'm going to go in with the Collection Gorgeous Glow Filter Finish. But this is the shade Fair Medium 2. I actually really wanted to get my hands on the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion for this, but I couldn't find it anywhere. I live in the UAE and I feel like we're a little bit behind with like the drugstore launches. I'm not sure if it's that or if it's just so popular that it's sold out everywhere, but for the life of me, I could not find it. But this one from Collection is also amazing. It's such a good dupe for Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. It's just like a gorgeous sheer glow product. I always like to do this just to give my foundation like a little bit of a boost. Okay, so we had a few different contenders for foundations for this video. I know that the L'Oreal True Match is kind of like known as the best drugstore foundation, but I did find two of their skin tints. This one is the True Match skin tint, and then I think this one is actually a really new launch. This is the Infallible skin tint. I tested them out a little bit before I started filming today, and this Infallible one is actually really good. This one has a lighter coverage and then this one is a bit more full coverage, but they never had my shade in stock. So I ordered two shades thinking they might work, but one of them was too pink and then the other one was too dark. I also have this Maybelline Lumi Matte Foundation, which I know that I love. I wore this every day on a ski trip with Maybelline and my skin looked flawless. Like the name says, it's like luminous and matte at the same time. So this is also really good, but the product that I wanted to use the most is the Maybelline Skin Tint. Couldn't find it in any of the shops, and then before I started filming today, I realised that I had one in my drawer. So this is what we're going to use today. This is their Superstay 24-hour skin tint, and I'm going to go in with the shade 23. I really do wish that they would get rid of these dropper applicators though. I'm just going to start with 3 little drops like this, and I'm going to blend it out with my Real Techniques sponge. This sponge is so nostalgic for me. Like, this is what I used to blend my makeup on every day with before school. I do wish that the end was like round here instead of flat, but still a good sponge. This is called a skin tint, but to me this is more like an actual foundation, especially when you blend it on with a brush. When you apply it with a brush, it gives like medium full coverage, but when you use a sponge like this, it's a little bit more buildable. So I'm just going to start with a light layer and then work the coverage up. But this is one of those products that's drugstore but actually feels high-end. Like, the formula is so good. I'm just going to go in with a little bit more just on my cheeks where I need a little bit more coverage. I feel like the main issue with drugstore foundations is that so many of them oxidize. Like, you think you've picked a good shade and then you put it on and 10 minutes later it's like orange. But I find that this one doesn't do that. The finish of this is just so nice, and I love the undertone of the shades. Here's a little close-up of the skin. I'm actually so impressed with this. You can see it's not clinging to any dry patches, and it's done a really good job of covering my blemishes here. For my concealer, it's going to have to be the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I really don't like the normal Camo Concealer though. I find it to be really dry and like cakey under my eyes, but the hydrating formula is so much better. Applying a little bit under my eyes, around my nose, chin, and forehead. And then maybe a little bit here to lift my eyes. This is in the shade Light Ivory. I'm blending that in again with my Real Techniques sponge. A lot of people recommended the L'Oreal Infallible concealer, but I tried that too and I just found that to be a little bit too dry and matte underneath my eyes. I feel like I need my concealer to be really hydrating and like on the glowy side, but around my eyes tends to get really dry for some reason. Oh my god, this is looking really good. Okay, one product that I don't have from the drugstore is like a really good spot concealer. I always use this NARS pot concealer for my blemishes. So today I think I'm just gonna have to go in with more of the foundation and just like layer it up on top of my blemishes. Okay, honestly, that seems to be working. Luckily, I don't have that many today. Okay, wow, that works. Onto cream bronzer. I actually took this recommendation from Shelby Ann's viral drugstore routine. This is the Milani Cheek Kiss in the shade Hey Honey. This actually has a really interesting formula. Like in the pan, it is really, really creamy, but as soon as you put it on your skin, it like turns to powder. I'm picking this up on my Real Techniques Expert face brush, and I'm just gonna work it into the brush on the back of my hand. I really hope that this is the right tone for me. Okay, I feel like it's a little on the cool side than I usually go for, but this can definitely work. Another contender for cream bronzer was going to be these little e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand sticks. I think I've used the shade Medium Tan before, and these actually blend out so nicely. Just applying this into the hollows of my cheeks, starting at my ear and blending down. The formula blends really nicely though. A little bit on the temples. And I'm going to take this over my eyelids as well, just to give us a little head start with eyeshadow. And I'm also going to use this to contour my nose. Unfortunately, I don't have enough Real Techniques brushes, so I have to use my Patrick Ta brush. Guys, I'm honestly like really shook at how good this is coming out. I did not expect the base to be this good. I feel like the base is what I was scared of, and I did not expect it to look this good already. For cream blush, I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blushes, and I think I actually might use two of these shades. I've got Dusty Rose and Cheeky Lychee. So I'm going to do a little dot of each and do like a bit of an ombre blush. A tiny dot of Dusty Rose on the apples of my cheek, and then a tiny bit of Cheeky Lychee. I just cleaned off the same Expert face brush, so I'm just going to use that to blend it out. All of these products have been blending so nicely together. Okay, I think I could actually go in with a little bit more. Let's take a little bit more of Cheeky Lychee. I am sorry, but how good does this look? Love those colours. Oh, that is so pretty. Okay, I'm obsessed with that blush, and now I'm just gonna go in with another little tiny dot of concealer, just right in the inner corners underneath my eyes. I always like to do this step and just like re-brightens up your under eye. Like anywhere that you brought the blush in too far, you can just blend over and clean it all up. And I'm just gonna use it to clean up my contour a little bit as well. Oh, I keep saying it, but like, I really should never have doubted a full face of drugstore. Like this looks no different to my high-end routine. Like being so honest right now. Right, let's go in and set all of these cream products. I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me Pressed Powder. Back when I was a working makeup artist, I used to use this on all of my clients. It's another really good Charlotte Tilbury dupe. This is their translucent shade, and I think I used to use the one that was one shade up. So like the lightest non-translucent one. Do you know what I mean? I'm just taking this on my powder puff. This is from Trigwell Cosmetics. And then going in and lightly pressing that powder in. Wow, this shade is really brightening. I think I actually prefer this translucent shade because it's so much brighter. Now that I've set my under eyes with the powder puff, I'm going to go in with this Peaches and Cream brush. This is the PC15. These aren't drugstore, but they are affordable and amazing. And I'm just going to pick a little bit up and use this to lightly set the rest of the places. We applied that concealer a little bit on the forehead, just so that we're lightly setting it. We don't really need to pack the powder on in these areas. Now we need to set our cream bronzer and cream blush with a powder. So for bronzer, I picked up this NYX Buttermelt bronzer. I've used the Buttermelt blushes before and I love them. They are so pigmented, but I've never tried the bronzers before. I am really, really picky with powder bronzer, so I hope that this is nice and not muddy. One thing that I will say though is be really careful with these. I've had to buy this twice because I dropped it on the floor literally from like this high up and it shattered everywhere. So these are really, really delicate. I think it's because the formula is like so soft. Because I know that these are pigmented, I'm going to pick it up on a really fluffy brush. This is the Real Techniques blush brush. I'm just going to really lightly dip this in. Okay, there's barely anything on the brush. And just lightly blend this over everywhere that we put the cream bronzer. Okay, I think that's a nice shade. That was the shade Butter Ballin'. Yeah, I'm just starting really sparingly with these because I know how pigmented the formula is. Okay, I think that is enough. Just gonna bring it underneath my jaw and down my neck as well. We've got a couple options here for our powder blush. I've got the Milani Baked Powder Blush in the shade Dolce Pink. Can you see that? That's the Milani one. And then we have the NYX Buttermilk Blush in the shade You Know Butter. They're both quite luminous, but one of them is more pink and one of them is more peach. I think I'm on a pink vibe today, so I'm gonna go with the Milani. Picking this up on my Peaches and Cream PC03 brush. Really lightly blending this on to my cheek. I absolutely love a luminous blush. It's like my favorite thing at the moment. Super cute. Okay, that is super pretty. Wow, this is going tremendously well. To finish off the cheek and add even more glow, I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Paris Lumi Le Glace highlighter stick. This is the shade Glassy Pink Ballet. It's always a little bit scary putting cream over powder, but I have used this one quite a few times, and I feel like the best way to do it is just to pick it up on your sponge and really, really lightly just dab over the high points, just like ever so slightly, and you can keep building it up as you like. But this is so pretty. It's literally like glass skin. That just really enhances everything, and it's not separated the makeup underneath at all. I'm like pinching the sponge down as well so that I can be more precise with where I'm putting it. That is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bit on my finger as well and add it right here to the bridge of my nose and then the tip of my nose. Oh my god, this is so nice. Wow. I feel like the rest of my face is kind of matte, so I do want to spray some setting spray, but I'm scared. Like, I don't want to give anything the opportunity to mess it up. Maybe we'll just wait till the end and do some setting spray. But I feel like I do need something to like melt these powders in. I feel like the category that the drugstore lacks the most is eyeshadow. Like, unless we're classing Morphe as drugstore, there's not really much to work with. So I picked up this Wet n Wild eyeshadow palette because I feel like it has a couple pretty neutral shades. So let's just see how we get on with this. I am going to use a Morphe brush though. This is the M433 brush. And I think I'm first just going to dip into this light shade here. Taking whatever concealer is left on my sponge and just blending out any creases on the lids. I think I'm also just going to go over with my powder puff too, just to lightly set them. Taking that light shade, and I'm going to try and use this as just like a transition shade. That's actually quite a nice colour. Starting in the outer corner here, I'm blending it inwards and then up towards my temples. Okay, do you know what? Not the worst eyeshadow formula. It's not gone patchy or anything, but I feel like I am just having to build it up with quite a lot of product. But that looks not bad for like a transition crease shade. Now I'm going to dip into this shade up here, just with the same brush. Okay, we have a lot of crumbly fallout here. You can see here, these are like extremely powdery. There is a lot of fallout in the pan. Just going to use that to deepen up this outer corner. I don't really mind fallout in the pan as long as there's no fallout like on my actual face. Keeping this right to this outer corner here. Not bad. Honestly, not bad. The shades are a bit more warm and peachy than I would usually go for, but honestly, it doesn't look that bad. Taking that same shade on my little baby Peaches and Cream PC47 brush, and I'm just going to run this really closely underneath my eye, right along my lower lash line. Yeah, this is a little too orange for me, but once we have like mascara and lashes on, I think we'll be okay. I actually take a little bit of the bronzer and just blend it like all the way over. Don't know if this is going to make it better or worse, but we can try. Blend that right in to the temples and into that bronzer. Taking this shimmer shade up here for a little inner corner highlight. Popping this right in my inner corner. These feel like 2016 eyes. I'm just going to drag it up a little bit onto the lid as well, just right in the inner corner. And to finish off the eyes, I'm going to take this Real Techniques angled brow brush and just dip it into the darkest brown here. And I'm just going to line the very outer corner of my lash line, just to add a little bit more drama to the eye. And I'm not going to wing this out, I'm just blending it out till the end of my lash line. I feel like that just adds a little extra something. I've just went in and curled my lashes with the Tweezerman Lash Curler. And for mascara, I'm going to use my favourite Maybelline Sky High. I love this mascara so much. I feel like this is the best drugstore mascara. And I am going to put lashes on after this, so just making sure that every lash is coated. Like just one layer of this mascara and it makes my lashes so long. So good. I wonder when this mascara came out. I feel like I've been using this for years now. And now to go in and actually fill in my brows. My favourite brow product that I use every time I do my makeup is this Maybelline Build-A-Brow. It's like a brow pen on one side and then on the other it's got like a little brow gel. I never really use this brow gel to be honest, but I love the brow pen. It's like super fine and tiny. And I also have this NYX micro brow pencil in the shade Chocolate. This is also what I used to use on all of my clients back when I was in MUA. So if you prefer like an actual brow pencil, I feel like this would be the go-to. But I'm gonna stick with my Maybelline Build-A-Brow. And I'm just going in and adding little hair strokes and really lightly filling in any sparse areas. Okay, let's add some lashes. I'm actually always wearing a drugstore lash. If it's not Kiss or Eyelure, then it's like Sephora collection. But I feel like drugstore lashes are just the best. These ones are from Kiss and they're in the style Nude Blazer. And I'm just sticking these on with a bit of duo glue. I honestly never really wait that long for the glue to get tacky. I just chuck them on. I like my lashes to have like a winged out kind of look. So these are perfect. Okay. Onto lip combo, we're almost done. My favourite drugstore lip liners are Rimmel, Maybelline and NYX, I'm gonna say. But I think today I'm gonna use the Maybelline Lifter Liner. This one's in shade 5 on it. And I'm just gonna go in and line my lips. You need to work kind of fast with these because they do dry down. I'm just gonna take my finger and just blend it onto the lips. Okay, I'm loving that lip liner shade. I feel like there's also loads of really good lip gloss choices in the drugstore. My favourites though are definitely the Maybelline Lifter Glosses, and then the Rimmel Glassy Glosses are absolutely amazing. These are so shiny. What do I want to use? I want to give my lips a little bit of an ombre, so I'm going to go in with my Doll Beauty lipstick. Not sure if this counts as drugstore, but they are sold at Boots, so I think I'm safe to use it. This is in the shade Dolled Out, and I'm just dabbing a tiny bit right in the centre of my lips and then blending it out with my finger. You could also just use a tiny bit of concealer for this. Okay, I really can't decide between these two glosses right now. I think I've used the Maybelline gloss a few times in videos before, so let's do Rimmel. Let's switch it up a bit. I think this is also like the shiniest gloss that you can get at the drugstore. This is the shade Pine to the Apple. These also smell absolutely amazing. Okay, now let's just add our finishing touches. I'm going to go in and add my beauty marks with my She Glam Freckle Tint. Again, not really drugstore, but also super affordable. I'm just going to go in and enhance a few freckles and beauty marks. And I'm going to add a teeny tiny bit of lower lash mascara just on the outer corner lashes. Okay, maybe we can finally brave a setting spray. This one is the NYX Plump Finish with electrolytes. I'm not really sure what finish it's meant to give. Like, what does plump mean? Also, that spritzer is like very aggressive, so I'm kind of scared of it. And then I also have the L'Oreal 3-second setting mist. This was like viral on TikTok for making your makeup transfer proof, but I never actually tried this, so maybe I'll give it a go just now. But again, I don't really know what finish it's meant to give. 36-hour waterproof, sweatproof, no transfer on fabric. Oh, see, that is a good mister. I'm just gonna close my eyes and mouth and hope for the best. I feel like it's not changed the finish of the makeup at all. Too bad I'm getting a facial after this. This could have been on all night. Okay guys, that is our full face of drugstore makeup. I am honestly shook to my core at how good this base looks. Like, I did not expect this at all. It's like full coverage, flawless, blurred. Like, it looks so good. I think my under eye is maybe a little bit too bright, so next time I'll probably use a shade darker in that e.l.f. concealer. But like, even in the time it's took for me to finish the makeup, nothing is like moved or creased. Like, everything looks perfect. It's actually kind of crazy. I'm so glad that I filmed this video, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed it as well and maybe found some new product recommendations for all my baddies on a budget. But yeah, big win for the drugstore. Please let me know if there's any other videos that you want to see from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Mwah.